What if a high-ranking military officer, a man known for his rigid discipline, was secretly obsessed with a single, highly dangerous word? That's the incredible true story of Dr. William Chester Minor, an American Civil War surgeon, and his improbable, profound contribution to the creation of the Oxford English Dictionary, OED, a project that became the definitive catalog of the English language. Minor's journey began with the horrors of war. A surgeon for the Union Army, he carried the trauma of the Battle of the Wilderness, where he was forced to brand a deserter's face, a memory that would shatter his mind. Years later, in 1872, the now paranoid and deeply disturbed Minor was living in London, convinced that he was being persecuted by an assassin. One night, in a delusional panic, he shot and killed an innocent man named George Merritt, a brewery stoker on the streets of Lambeth. The court found Minor not guilty by reason of insanity, and he was committed to the Broadmoor Criminal Lunatic Asylum, one of Britain's most notorious institutions. His was an astonishing fall from an educated man of standing to a killer locked away behind high walls. But this is where his life takes an extraordinary turn. Around the same time, across the city, the monumental task of compiling the Oxford English Dictionary had begun. The OED's method was revolutionary. They needed millions of quotations from books, newspapers, and letters to illustrate the history and meaning of every single word. The call went out to the public for voluntary contributions. Isolated in his asylum cell, William Chester Minor, the American murderer, found a purpose. Surrounded by the institution's limited library, and eventually, thanks to his considerable private income, an ever-expanding collection of rare and antique books, he dedicated his life to the dictionary. He became the OED's most prolific and most valuable contributor. For 2 decades, from inside the walls of Broadmoor, Dr. William Chester Minor became a meticulous, almost machine-like collector of words. He received thousands of proof sheets from Oxford and would read, mark, and send back slips of paper with perfectly cited quotes. He provided over 10,000 entries and citations for the dictionary, often helping to define words the chief editor, James Murray, could not trace or was struggling to illustrate. He had an uncanny knack for unearthing obscure early uses of words, correcting mistakes, and filling critical gaps. Dr. Minor and Professor Murray, the editor in charge of the entire colossal project, corresponded for years without ever meeting. Murray knew Minor only as Dr. W. C. Minor, Broadmoor, assuming the address was that of a devoted scholar's home. The dictionary's very backbone was being built by a committed, if eccentric, American contributor living in an asylum for the criminally insane. The truth only came to light when Murray wanted to express his personal thanks to his invaluable helper. In 1896, when Murray finally visited Broadmoor, the chief editor of the world's most ambitious dictionary was escorted past guards and locked doors to meet his greatest contributor, a man in a padded cell. It was a meeting that stunned Murray, but one that led to a unique friendship between the two men, founded on their shared love of language. The story of the American murderer who became the essential contributor to the ultimate English dictionary remains one of the most astonishing footnotes in linguistic and intellectual history. It's a powerful testament to the human need for meaning, even when confined by tragedy and madness, and the surprising places from which our greatest cultural achievements can arise. The vast, definitive record of the English language contains thousands of entries made possible by a man locked away for a word, the word he spoke when he shot an innocent man. Assassin.